Join two sisters who explore the couples that fandoms adore. We write their stories in the night, in the glow of computer light. Eyes connect, clothing flies, in our head canon love never dies. Stencils that leave us pining, in deep forums we are mining. For this journey, better strap in, because we all know that shit happens.
Welcome to the podcast that explores couples fans can't stop dreaming about from the pop culture you love. Because when it comes to adult animation, ship happens!
We're your hosts. I'm Emily.
And I'm Rachel. She likes nerd culture.
And she likes making podcasts. So we thought we'd join forces to make a podcast about popular online ships. So before we get into the meat of the episode and our maybe multiple ships this week.
We did it different.
Yeah, we tried something. I could say we're trying something new, not just that we
fucked up. But we'll talk more about that in a second. Let's talk. Who are we shipping this week?
So, I guess I can talk about mine first. So, we already mentioned adult animation. I feel like there was a moment in our lives where it became, like, okay to like cartoons as an adult. Like, I feel like yeah. Like, it was a kid
Bob's
thing.
Burgers is my personality. A hallmark of it.
But there was, like, in high school, I feel like it was, like, the Adult Swim times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when, like, cartoons for adults became things. So, what I'm about to talk about is actually
you
another
never have to grow up.
Yeah. So what I'm talking about, it's not actually a cartoon for adults. It is a cartoon for children. But it's very good. And we all have to acknowledge and accept it. And that is Avatar. Avatar: The Last Airbender. It is very good. So I watched half of it. Exactly. Practically. And then I stopped watching it because it was COVID times and my brain chemistry changed. But I then afterwards heard about how in the last episode, like, everybody gets, like, paired off because you always end up forever with who you liked when you were a child.
I remember the epilogue of Harry Potter.
Yeah. Exactly. So this isn't exactly a ship. It's like an anti-ship because I found out two characters and they were, like, setting it up even in the first half of the show. I found out that Aang and Katara end up together and I am opposed.
You're opposed. So it's like the opposite of ship happens.
Yeah.
It's like ship shouldn't happen.
Yeah. No TP instead of OTP. Right. I don't agree with it. So I guess I ship Katara with literally anybody else.
Anybody else.
Basically her and anybody else in the show. I guess I have to go with Zuko. I think that's a big one. I like Zuko a lot. So
why don't you like those two?
So I don't like them because in the show, Katara kind of takes on a, like, mothering role for their, like, kind of band of misfit children.
Oh.
You're right. And Aang is so much younger, like, not literally, but he's younger. He is younger. He's, like, as a kid, he's younger and mentally younger. And so it's, like, weird. That's, like, you don't really, she basically raises him and then they end up together. Like, it's odd.
Yeah. If it was a man
dynamic.
and a woman role reversal, people would be raising their eyebrows at it for sure.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen the last episode. So, I guess, like, I could be down if they got together as adults. But the dynamic I saw, I was not into. Whereas you got Zuko, like, bad boy, enemy. Then he gets redeemed.
Okay.
Yeah, he's cool.
That's way better.
Yeah.
Than the baby boy you raised.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I guess that's mine. So, that's my cartoon ship.
I like it. You're on
anti-ship.
theme. Mine is wildly out of left field because I'm talking about a book. I'm talking about a book talk book. Because if this gives you any hint to how long we sat on these episodes, it was spooky season not too long ago, and I read a lot of spooky books. And one spooky book that came off of TikTok was called Home Before Dark, which the title, nothing to do with the rest of the book, but it was a pretty good ghost story. It is by, I want to say, Riley Sager, whoever that is. He's a pretty popular thriller writer. And their main character is a person who flips houses, and she goes back to flip her childhood haunted house. And the whole time she's got this person who's off in her peripherals, her quote-unquote business partner, right? She does the design. Her business partner is a contractor who is also a woman, right? They're like best friends / business partners. Wink, wink. And I'm like, I'm reading between the lines. You don't even have to say it, guys. These two, I get it. And then all of a sudden she's lusting after some other guy that she hires to fix up things around her house. I said, no, I'm going to no TP that. And I'm going to ship her with this person, with her business partner, who we never actually see in the book. They only ever communicate by phone. But I can tell you, it's canon, right? That it's a house flipping pair with a designer and a contractor. And they're not property brothers. So they must be together. If HGTV taught me anything, it's that they're together.
They're a couple.
So there you go. That's my ship of the week. Not super relevant.
No, you're just like missed opportunity.
Right.
These two together. They can create beautiful houses, own a business, solve a murder crime, or whatever happens in a thriller book. They did solve a murder crime, Emily.
They did. Well, she did.
Yeah.
And was there a ghost? Wasn't there a ghost? It's up to the reader to determine.
Oh, one of those.
One of those. Yeah. So that's enough about our ships that we're talking about, our favorite ships of late. Now we actually got to get to some of our favorite ships from a very, what do you want to call it? What's the word for like an ingenue, but for a TV show, like a darling, like an indie darling TV show that came out this last year, whatever year you're listening
whatever
to
this is. It came out currently in 2024, despite having a pretty long, I guess, kind of ramp up. Had some fans before. So, yeah. So what we were discussing today would be the cartoon TV show on Amazon Prime, Hazbin Hotel, which I feel like is a deviation from what we've been discussing before.
We're trying to relate to the youths. Hey, fellow teenagers. No, and it's funny. I think when it's actually for adults, it's called adult animation, not just cartoons.
Whatever.
Which I had not heard of this until we found it on a list of top ships.
Right.
It's keeping me hip. This podcast is already doing good for the world.
Yeah, which is so funny because we just live in different internet spheres. Because it was something that had been kind of on my radar, like on the peripheral of just like content I consume. So when we did look at this list, which we'll talk about a little bit later, I was like, I had already watched it, and I was like, wow, like, I can't believe this show that I watched. I didn't realize it was popular, that they've got all these ships, and they're, like, pretty high up on this list. So
yeah, and that's in comparison to Supernatural. So that's how big it is.
Like, Stranger Things? Oh, that's a big one. Yeah. So, yeah, I was kind of surprised that we discussed it, and it's a pretty short show. It's only about 8 episodes, half an hour long each. Because I already watched it, so Rachel got through some of it.
I tried to watch, I thought I had watched it all, and then I started doing the research, and I'm like, I feel like I missed a lot. But we are going to do things a little bit different today, too. We had originally agreed on one couple, and then in doing the research, we kind of flip-flopped.
We did it.
I didn't agree. We agreed initially, and then we were talking about it, and then we get to record tonight, and we're combining our notes, and Emily says, we did different couples.
So, yeah, I don't know what happened exactly. There was a couple couples on the list, and I guess we just decided on different
My
ones.
brain doesn't work. That's
Maybe.
what happens.
I just picked the one I like the most. So.
Well, no, I like that one more, too. I would have rather done it. And I vaguely remember the conversation where we talked about changing it, and then it just probably died in my those brain cells were crushed by another 5 a.m. wake up of daylight savings babies. So
anyway, so yeah,
here we are.
But
what two couples are we talking about?
So I'm going to be taking on the couple of Husk and Angel Dust. So I think we'll talk about the names now, or do that?
Oh yeah, just jump right into it.
So yeah, Husk and Angel Dust. So I think their ship name would be HuskerDust. I guess Husk is also Husker. I don't know why not Angel Husk, because Angel Dust.
Yeah, that
sure.
does sound better. Because I was wondering where the came from.
I guess that's his name. I don't know.
But they just call him Husk?
Yeah.
Huh.
So, they're okay. Those are both okay names. But yeah, that's the one I'm going with. So
then I'm taking on the main couple, right? The main legitimate couple of Charlie and Vaggie. And their ship name is called Chaggie, which, if I'm being honest, makes me gaggy.
Hey. The Vaggie is that? I don't. Why,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
her
why
name.
they did that choice.
Yeah, it's a choice.
Yeah, I think there's a
But
moment
also-
in the show where, like, cause right, it's like vagina.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. We
Yeah.
were wondering if we maybe missed some of the subtext initially, and being like, are they friends? Are they a couple? Her name is literally Vaggie, so
Yeah.
I
think
wasn't so subtle.
In the show, the like shitty character Adam says, "I named you that because he sucks," you know, like it's one of my favorite things or something like that. But still, weird choice by the creator because now you're stuck with it.
Yes, you can't change it.
Yeah.
And then you get a weird couple name like Chaggie.
Chaggie's
which,
pretty bad. Yeah.
Why not Varley? Come on, that's way cuter, and it's right there. But I guess maybe they want to upset. I think that's a little bit of the theme of the show. They want to make you uncomfy, and that comes through a lot. So, like you said, you've watched it before.
Yes.
Organic watcher. I watched
I did.
most of the season, I think, while making a toddler's Halloween costume. So maybe that's where some of the gaps come from. But my overall, what was your overall take when you first watched it?
Overall, I enjoyed it. It's not like for me, so it's not my favorite thing ever, but I find myself listening to some of the songs like organically because I do enjoy a few of them. I do like the music, the show tuney. I think the cast is pretty good. There's some like names I recognize. Actually, the character we were just talking about, Baggy or whatever, is played by what is her name? Stephanie Beatrice from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She plays Rosa, but
and
like
from Encanta.
Yeah, she's actually a really good singer. And it's just I know her from Rosa, so it's like funny when she plays other characters.
Yes, she was in another Lin-Manuel musical too, In the Heights.
Yeah.
Yes, so she's opposite of what you would think. She's opposite of how she portrays herself on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, right? So she's not like that.
Yeah, she's like more bubbly happy. And
she's not that firm.
What is his name? Adam Brightman, I think. He did School of Rock on Broadway. He was Beetlejuice on Broadway, which is what I know him from. I like that musical. He plays Adam, the first man in like Douchebag Angel. I guess I like the cast. I like the music. Some of it was funny. I felt like some of it reached me emotionally. I like demons. I like stuff about demons. So,
well, that's the thing.
It,
like the hook really got me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, hell, demons? Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah.
And then I watched it and I was like, I think you summed it up perfectly when you said it was not for me. I'm like, this is not for me, right? This is a different group of people who would eat this up. And I think I would have been in that group of people had it been like 10 years ago, right? If I was younger, maybe, or if culture was younger, that's if the cultural place. If I was the same age 10 years ago, I might have liked it as well. Because I feel like my enjoyment of the edgier kind of humor, or humor that's really trying to be edgy, has kind of faded as I've reached my cusp of middle age, right? But like when I was in my 20s, I was like, what's the most heinous thing we can say? That's hilarious. And I feel like there's a fair amount of that in there.
And it's like, ooh, cartoons, but it's violent. Again, cartoons. But it's like violent or it's very, very sexual. And it's, so that's like
a disconnect to get over, right?
It feels, like you said, edgy or outside the box. But it's like we've been seeing this for years and years. So it's like not even like that anymore.
Right, yeah. The first time we saw Family Guy, and it confused us, right? Because it's a cartoon that said fart or, whatever horrible things that they say on Family Guy. So, that kind of juxtaposition isn't shocking in and of itself anymore when we've all watched, we've watched Archer, and I felt like everything in this was tame compared. it was like dancing on the edge of, oh, we want to be shocking and we want to look like we're pushing the envelope, but it was all still very much safe, if that makes sense.
Yeah, nothing, because I coming into it, I had heard from a podcast, right, that it's going to be raunchy, it's going to be over the top, but I wasn't like, I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
No, I let your kids watch it, but like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah.
It would have made me enjoy it more. I didn't really want to see anything too terrible.
Right. Yeah. You didn't want it to be the worst of the worst, but it kind of felt like it wanted to be edgier than it was, but it didn't quite have the edge that it needed. But anyways, that's besides the point, because people really, really liked it. And the story in itself is of a character named Charlie Morningstar, who's Lucifer's daughter, and she lives in hell, and in the hell she lives in, I think it is rated every 6 months by angels, right? 6 months?
Or like a year or something. Yeah, every couple
and then they bumped
years.
it up.
And then they bumped it, shorter, which is the like driving urgency of the first season.
Yeah, the conflict.
Yeah.
But the angels come into hell and then they just kill the souls at random, the demons and the souls at random. And the idea behind this is that it is creating balance between good and evil, trying to keep the good side good.
Yeah, I guess just kind of culling hell. You got too many demons down there, right? You're always adding more.
Yeah. So are the demons the same as the people's souls that went down there? I didn't follow that piece. Like you go down.
Yeah, you have your. Yeah, I don't know if they're all necessarily demons. You have your like demons, which are the ones in charge, and then maybe the other like inhabitants are just souls or like I don't know.
So angel dust, is angel dust a demon or a soul?
I'm not sure. Like
right?
I know Alistair's a demon, but like I don't angel dust like Husky, I don't know.
Oh,
really.
see, I thought he was supposed to be the real Aleister Crowley, so I'm confused.
No.
But anyways, so one thing we're not confused about is that the residents of hell are not so big on the culling that happens at regular times. So Charlie has taken it upon herself as the princess of hell to try to create a program to save the souls of hell in order to show that they're redeemable, to get them fixed up and moved on to heaven, to kind of, instead of culling the souls, which I guess they just extra die at that point, she says that, we can make space in hell by moving them and repairing them and sending them to heaven. And she does this in her facility that she calls the Hazbin Hotel. And so far it's not doing so hot, right? At the point where we see it in season 1, there's just kind of a handful of oddball demons who are living there striving to get better. Striving to get better.
They're just kind of there.
Well,
they don't necessarily seem to be taking it super seriously. Yeah, but
they're kind of they all like Charlie is what combines them together, unites them together. And of that cast of characters who lives there, you have a demon trafficking victim, a silent and stern bartender, some weird propaganda guy, and a quiet, normal demon who it appears to be in a Boston marriage with Charlie.
I really like Alistair being a weird propaganda guy. I feel like you maybe missed something there.
What? Is that not what he did? He made a TV show or whatever.
He's a radio demon. He's like one of they set him up to kind of be one of the like powerhouses of hell. He's a radio demon. So as a podcaster, I would think
he's our patron demon.
Exactly.
Pray to the weird propaganda guy.
Propaganda. He's kind of old timey because of when the radio was big.
I hate his voice. Sorry. Hate or gonna hate.
I liked Alistair. I like most of the characters. Once I figured out who they all were, I kind of liked. Alistair was kind of cool. I liked his.
Once you figured out who they all were, that is the thing. Because there was only
a lot at you.
Yes, there's like 3 demons I remember, and then the rest are all interchangeable to me. I remember Charlie. I remember Angel Dust, and I can recognize the other one, Vaggie. So the rest, I'm like, who?
Well, you don't even have the like murdering maid. Like,
the little one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had forgotten about her.
She doesn't get a lot to do. She's just kind of funny. Well, and Sir
And the snake
guy, he's big and he's more important later. Yeah. It's a lot of demons.
There's a lot of demons, and I obviously don't have a good grip on them all because I half watched half the series. I thought I watched the whole series, but I did not, as evident I learned today. But what's more interesting, I think, well, as interesting. No, I don't want to piss people off. So what I think is as interesting as the show itself is the story of the show, which is truly a show of the people because it began when its creator, Mendrano, I should probably look up their whole name. Hold on. It's a spin-off series. Did you know that?
Yeah, there's another one that is the web show or something.
Oh. Why can I not find this person's first name? Vivian. Okay. So it was created by an artist named Vivian Medrano. They made the show while they were in art school. And they were releasing it on their YouTube channel, and it kind of gathered a following there. And they were able to create the pilot of the show, which was released on YouTube through private funding through a Patreon, right? And that pilot had gained over 50 million views by early February 2021.
The fact that this had so much like fan base for years before it even made it to Amazon. So one of the reasons I watched this was because I came across a song, and I swear it was years ago. I've been listening to this song because it's kind of a bop, and I'm just like, yeah, it's about it's clearly about a demon named Alistair who like is in hell. And I was just like, wow, very creative. And then I was eventually kind of put the pieces together. And I was like, oh, this is from this TV show. So I'm watching the TV show. I'm not realizing it came out this year. And I'm waiting for this song to come up, and it never comes up. Because this is a fan-made song. I had to Google it eventually. It's a fan-made song from, like, years ago that it just got kind of popular. So popular enough to, like, I stumbled across it. So there's been fans for years making, like, art and spin-offs and stuff about this before it was even the fully fledged show.
And that's pretty impressive because I thought this was a newbie because it premiered on Amazon Prime in January 2024. But like you said, it's been around since I guess 2019. Parts of it have been, and that's it's captured a lot of captured a lot of attention and interest since then. And what's the name of that song so I can go look it up?
So a second, I gotta sing it to myself to get to the title. I think I tried to say Insane. It's called Insane. So actually the creator, since I Googled it, the artist was the original voice actor from the pilot for Alistair. And so it's like about Alistair. The artwork on it is him with his goofy hair or ears, whatever it is. The original cast that all got booted for favor of the much more famous folks that you mentioned. But they were on board with it. Is it called Insane? Oh, Hazbin Hotel song. Yep. Yeah. Black Griffin or something is like one of the creators.
Yeah, Black Griffin and Bassick. Okay, so I'll listen to that after the show.
It's kind of old timey vibe. I'm into that at the moment.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll have to check it out. And so fans waited with bated breath for this first season, and they loved it. Something about the characters, the premise, the art is what made it so powerful. What let it capture attention and hold it for all those years? I mean, people waited 5 years for the actual season. Mm-hmm. Like we said, the humor's dark. It's listed as a black comedy on Wikipedia. I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's also got this musical numbers. There's like singing at least once or twice an episode. Mm-hmm. And the style itself is really cutesy. It's so much pink, and all of the demons look cute. Like they look like characters that would have been on things that we got in middle school, you know?
Oh, yeah. Like like those shorts with the
Bratz dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I saw a stuffed husk today while I was doing research, and I was like, I'd buy that. That's pretty cute.
Husk is the cutest, I think, of all of them. Yeah. I think Charlie's meant to be cute, but like Husk is a cat, so come on.
Oh, he was a monkey. But yeah, he is a cat. But the songs are pretty peppy. Yeah, they're even the ones They're kind of bummers. Yep.
Yeah, it's a cute little show. And when you have a bunch of demons running around in hell, of course, people are going to fall in love, right? And that's where we have our 4 demon folks that we're looking at today. So real quick, the 2 people, demons of my relationship or my ship are Charlie, who is Satan's daughter, and I wrote the joy of the situation, like from Inside Out. She's just like that archetype of a character. You know, Leslie Knope probably would have fit as well.
Yeah.
Jovial, optimistic, a little naive, hardworking. That's that archetype to a T.
She's the sunshine to Vaggie's.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Melancholy.
Yeah. Golden retriever girlfriend, black cat girlfriend.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Because Vaggie is the dark, brooding one. Because she is a former exorcist angel who got booted out of heaven, apparently. Which I didn't learn this until research today.
Second half of that season.
That I missed. She got booted out of heaven because she decided to save a kid, I guess, instead of exorcising him. I don't know the full situation.
Right,
but
she spared a demon, so she got, damned.
Oh, a demon. I thought it was a human child.
No, it was during one of the reapings, or whatever they call them.
Demons can be kids?
I guess so.
Like does that just mean a kid went to hell? That's messed up. Judeo-Christian religions. Get it together. But anyway, so because she chose to save a demon, she got booted to hell. Mm-hmm. So those are the 2. That's the dynamic there.
Yep. So I have Angel and Husk. So HuskerDust is a porn star and sex demon. So damn to hell, I guess, for being slutty.
So hot.
And you kind of find out more about him. He seems to actually be there kind of to take the hotel semi-seriously. He seems to actually kind of want to get better. He's not into his life anymore in hell. It's actually pretty bleak, the episode about it. Didn't really like that.
It was like sex trafficking.
Yeah, it's like really kind of a bummer. I was hoping for a little bit more for him. And he's kind of, his persona, at least at the first half, is really over the top flirty. Just kind of really leaning into this kind of sex addict persona, but you kind of find out it's a facade. It's just kind of, it's walls to protect himself.
He's using it to defend himself, right?
Right.
Yeah, because he doesn't seem to be taking anything seriously. Everything's like a big joke to him. A sex joke, specifically.
Yeah. But then it's kind of, he's doing it first so that other people can't hurt him with it. So then you have a Husk who sees kind of through this. He's like we mentioned, a cat with wings, I guess. He's the bartender at the Hazbin Hotel. You find out he's kind of, I guess he's the black cat or the cranky one in this one. He's being forced to work there by Alistair, because he has sold his soul to. Alistair now owns his soul, so he can make him do whatever. Alistair's supporting this hotel. We don't know why. But he's making Husk be there. He doesn't want to be there. He's cranky about it. Yeah. And that's kind of why he's there. He pretty soundly rejects Angel's flirty come-ons for a bit, and then they develop a little bit better of a relationship. They kind of see each other, meet each other eye to eye.
Yeah, a spark. A spark is definitely there. And that's something that I saw, more so than even the 2 that I have that are legitimately in a relationship. Yeah. But that's probably for the best. So now our newest segment, which you had a better name for it, but I forgot what it was. The segment is Meet Cute or
Poop Shoot. I don't remember what was better.
You had one that was better than Poop Shoot. So this is where we look at how the characters met and decide if it was really a meet cute that, sparks the fandom shipping, or if it was a big old bummer town.
Yeah.
Raspberry. So for my 2, for Charlie and Vaggie, Vaggie, I said it. I knew I was going to. First time we see them on the show, they appear as just co-workers, right? She's one of the, Vaggie is one of the, Vaggie. Maggie is one of the many interchangeable demons in the background.
She's just kind of there. She's supporting Charlie. So, the other one seemed a little bit working against her. So
Yeah, that's like
she seemed to take her a little bit more seriously.
assistant, friend, maybe.
Yeah.
And then as it goes on, you get to see, oh, wow, they really do care about each other. And Maggie is really trying to like support Charlie and cares about her a lot. And then if you're like me and you're only half paying attention at times, Charlie introduces Maggie to her dad as her girlfriend. And he said, oh, okay. That makes sense.
I might have looked it up. I think I was watching it. I was like, are they together? Like, was there something early in the season I missed? Because there's a song, I think, that Vaggie sings about like wanting to be there for Charlie. And I was like, wait a minute, are they together?
Yeah, they give a little bit of a backstory in one of the songs, I believe. But that's the story. That's their real meet cute. So if you're looking at just the show, we're not really treated to their meet cute.
No, I think they are later.
What?
I think there is a song or a flashback or something where you have it, where when they actually do first meet, when Vaggie.
Oh, wait. So let me scratch that.
Yeah.
So if you're just looking at the first episodes,
Yes, yeah.
you're not really getting the meet cute. But if you stick around, the meet cute pays off. Because when the pair do meet, it's when Vaggie has just been cast from heaven. She's lost her left eye and had her wings cut off, and she's just laying in an alleyway. And that's where Charlie finds her. And then she takes her in and she nurtures her. She heals her and helps her get out of that time. And that is where we see that kind of unwavering loyalty come from, is that Charlie picked Vaggie up out of literally the gutter and helped her
in hell,
heal.
right? It's not what you're expecting.
Right. She wasn't, I guess, well, especially she spent her whole eternal life killing them, right? She didn't really see people in hell as the souls in hell as anything redeemable, and now somebody's going out of their way to help her.
And it's kind of stuck with her ever since.
I would say that's a meet cute. If it's not a meet cute, I don't know what is.
It's pretty meet cute. So what I've got for Husk and Angel Dust, they probably had one. So I think they were together in the pilot, which I did not watch. So maybe there's a meet cute there, and they definitely interact at the hotel for the first half of the season. But I think kind of like, I'm going to bend the rules, because I kind of think when they're with their actual meet cute, the moment the relationship is potentially stemming off of is when they have a song together called Loser Baby. So like I said, they've interacted. Angel's been pretty flirty towards Husk. Husk pretty much shuts it down, tells him he's a fake. He's like, I'll give you credit, I'll give you time of day maybe when you're like real with me. So I think Angel kind of goes missing. Husk has to go find him. He finds him just at like the bottom, right? It's rock bottom. You kind of
also in a gutter, correct? No,
I think he pulls him out and tosses him in the gutter. Because this is the episode you kind of find out about Angel's life, and it is I found it truly kind of upsetting.
It was. This was the darkest thing I saw in all the show.
And Husk finds him in a bad situation that you kind of find out he's just letting to happen because he's just kind of self-destructing at that time. So he pulls him out. I think that's when he pulls him out of the bar, kind of tosses him into the gutter, because they do sing the song on a sidewalk. So
yes, that's what I remember.
Yep, and he's like, hey, stop wallowing. Guess what? We're all losers, baby. So they have the song together where it's kind of Husk cheering him up by telling him, like, yeah, your life sucks, my life sucks, we're in this together, everything sucks. So that's kind of when it's, Angel lets his walls down a bit, lets Husk see the real person. They're kind of seeing eye to eye, and they realize, like, hey, we're both in this shit together.
Yeah,
and that's kind of where it turns around from there.
Yeah, I definitely see that. And I remember watching that and seeing the spark happen and be like, oh, I could see shipping these two. It's I guess if I'm starting to learn what makes that spark happen, it's kind of that intimacy, right? Of being vulnerable with somebody. And that is definitely what happens in this song. And Husk is just such like a big cat griffin daddy that you just want him to save little Angel Dust.
Yeah, it's what pulled him out of the gutter. Get him, but yeah, I just was like, I felt bad for Angel. I was like, I wanted I wanted to get him a little bit further out of the gutter. But yeah, he was like, okay, maybe they can, there's something there.
I like it. I feel it.
Help
I'm behind
Angel out. Yeah. Get Angel in a better place, have like an actual friend. And then after this song, the over-the-top flirting stops. There's like cute moments where they're just kind of buddies, you know? They get to be like friends.
Real together.
Yeah. So, some growth. It's for a pretty short show. There's some pretty good, I think, characters and like character growth.
Yeah, I would say in those...
Especially for, I think, Angel.
Angel, I kind of steps forward in being like, if the show wasn't so obviously about Charlie, I feel like the love and care that he got, or they got, I don't even know if he's really a he, but I feel like that character got a lot more love and attention from the team, right? That they really put them front and center more. That they could have maybe eclipsed, I guess, if you weren't really just looking at the plot in general. Because in my memory, that's the person I remember the most. The character I remember the most. So, and he got a lot of growth. They got a lot of growth and a really good arc. Mm-hmm. And potentially a Cat Griffin daddy. Mm-hmm. Out of the whole thing. So
yeah, look it up. He's started really, really low. And again, like I was a little unsatisfied because I feel like the show throws a lot at you. There's like so much happening when I feel like it could have focused in maybe a bit more on like a few characters. But it's the first season. I think it's just setting up a lot for like future seasons.
Well, yeah, it's renewed for, I think, up to 4 seasons or something.
Okay, I think
so. We're gonna be seeing a lot more of these. We'll revisit these ships. We're in a Tamlin era
now.
Yeah, we got a Tamlin era. We're gonna be talking in 2 years about like, oh, Tamlin's awful. We like Riesling now.
We'll see where it goes. I'm hopeful. I want to. I think, like you said, Angel kind of came out as the star for me, as at least the character I felt the most for. So I want to see good things for him.
Yeah, definitely.
For him to get better.
And so I think that is pretty obvious where the shipping for HuskerDuster comes in, because that's all the things that we've talked about, right?
Yeah, had a song together. Again, you can like notice the change in their dynamic. You're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, and it just really, Husk allowed him to be his real self, right? And kind of let down his walls.
True. Yeah, kind of both ways. So yeah, Husk, mostly it is kind of this, Angel drop his walls, maybe become his more true self, become more comfortable around Husk and his, newfound family at the hotel.
No.
And then it kind of, pulls Husk out of his perpetually grumpy state where now he's got like a buddy and maybe there's more.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just him not just Husk fixing Angel. It's they're both helping each other.
Yeah.
And that is helping each other is kind of the cornerstone of some of the criticisms that my couple face in the online community, right? There have been some heated text messages, Twitters throwing around the big T word for Chaggie, saying that relationship is toxic, and that Vaggie is literally just an extension of Charlie and just exists to support her efforts and her goals within the show, which I'm like, okay, come on. That's AKA any girlfriend in a male-centric story, right? There's always the girlfriend who just is there to propel what the male protagonist wants. So it's not out that far outside the realm of normal, but also there's some retorts to it, right? That Vaggie is able to convince Charlie to do things that she wouldn't normally do. So Charlie, granted, it's all around the hotel, but it's still like Vaggie isn't just her errand girl. Right, she's still a partner and still able to influence the situation, even though she does go to heaven when she desperately doesn't want to.
Yeah, I don't know. They seem fine to me. Besides the fact I couldn't tell they were in a relationship for a little while.
That's how you know it's a great relationship. That and I think that that's kind of what we're seeing too, right? Is that they've been together a while. It's not the kindling of a burning flame. It's like, the steady embers of a long and mature relationship.
Well, yeah, and they had challenges, Baggy had secrets that are exposed, and they work through them, and they come out stronger as a couple.
Yeah.
To fight and kick some angel ass at the end.
There you go. And, just like any long-term relationship, too, times flow, energies flow. So I imagine at the beginning of their relationship, to kind of combat the Baggy is just Charlie's assistant, which does seem like that way sometimes. But, I'm sure Charlie put a lot of energy into Vaggie at the beginning, right? And healing her and getting her back, into trust. And, like, a lot of that energy went towards her. So I'm sure she's just repaying it, right? The pendulum swings in relationships. And they seem to have a very mature, very steady, loving relationship. And I thought that was best. I thought the critique of the critiques was best summarized by Reddit user, Hi, I am me, just me, _ between all the words, who wrote, the people who call Chaggie toxic, and I quote, not only don't know how a toxic relationship works, they don't know directly how a normal relationship works. So that's just to say that they're so skewed, they don't know what toxic looks like, but they don't even know what isn't toxic because these people just look like a normal couple.
That's just normal, yeah. Maybe she's just supporting her partner. Doesn't have anything else going on,
Yeah, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, just trying to help her out. So, yeah, while I was perusing Reddit as well, I came across some criticism of HuskerDust. Or not necessarily criticisms, but just people not feeling it. They, they just didn't see it. They thought that Husk and Angel would be better off as friends, and that, while Angel's kind of trying to, like, recover and heal from all his lots of trauma. He didn't need a romantic relationship. He just needs, like, a supportive buddy there. Especially because for him, it's all about sex, so... you don't want to jump into a relationship. It doesn't have to be about sex.
Which, this is all very fair if this was a real person.
Right. And so, really, in the end, the creator has confirmed that they will be getting together.
Hell yeah.
I think so. I think in Reddit, I didn't find any actual, like, sources. But people seem to be like, oh, yeah, well, they've confirmed. It's like a slow burn. They'll get there. So, it's a slow burn. They gotta, they'll develop intimacy and trust. I think it'd be good. I'm excited for it. There's also some allegations that people maybe weren't into it. It was just because these are two kind of male characters. That's homophobia. Which is funny to me because they're not humans. They are demons. Like, Husk is a flying cat. And I don't know what Angel is. Got many arms.
so many arms.
It's kind of like they're not really humans, so I don't know.
Why would that? There's a lot of disturbing things, especially with Angel Dust's like whole arc and some of the things that he does on the show. So it's just like, I think that worrying about them identifying as the same gender is probably pretty low.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that the group of people who watch this show would care about that either. I can't imagine very many homophobes seeking out a cartoon musical about demons.
Right. Especially from like a shipping angle, because I feel like it's predominantly like queer.
So many gay couples.
Yeah. So I don't know. I could see you, thinking maybe, a relationship isn't what Angel needs at the moment, but I feel like they had a spark there. And I think it can be done well, just how is it?
Exactly. They got 4 more seasons or whatever.
Yeah. They'll get there. So that's the critiques I've seen. So we have the two couples, like we mentioned earlier. We pulled this off of a list. We were looking for ideas, what couples we wanted to cover. And I came across a list. It's called The Top Ships of the Summer of 2024 by Center of These Lights on AO3. Center spelled CENTRE.
So they're fancy. They're European or Australian.
And they put together kind of like the top couples, the ones that had the most like stories, most newest stories. So that's what we were, browsing through there when I saw all the Hazbin stuff, and I was kind of surprised. I thought it was like, I didn't know anyone was watching this thing. But we have at that list, number 16 is Husk and Angel. So that's the top one from Hazbin. Between a couple from Stray Kids, the band, which I can only assume is K-pop.
Is Stray Kids that Irish band?
No, I don't think so.
Stray Kids is a boy band.
Yeah. Han
They look like they're
Ji-sung
K-pop.
And Han Lee Min-ho and Lee No, maybe 3.
So bizarre that
K-pop
people ship
yeah.
real people, but
Yeah.
we'll get there, I'm sure. We'll cover one of those.
K-pop is a big blind spot for me. So anyway, between that and then John Soap Mactavish and Simon Ghost Riley from Call of Duty, which I feel like we have to do because I didn't know there were characters in Call of Duty.
Neither did I, but add them to the list.
Yeah.
Let's do Soap and Ghost. Soapy Ghost.
Soap and Ghost. Yeah. I thought it was just a shooting game. But okay. I just like, what could that possibly be? Anyway, so I'm intrigued. And then we have farther down the list at number 19. So not too far down, much farther down. You have Charlie and Maggie, which is how we got confused.
Which, we started talking about them because we had not covered woman loving woman relationship yet. So we were trying to get that in. But I think, as you might agree listening to this episode, that Angel Dust and Husk are just way more interesting. Not way more interesting. Let me stress that. But as you can probably tell by the rankings, that Angel Dust and Husk seem to have a bigger grip on the fandom and a little bit more grip on the imagination of fans. And I will say I would have ranked them higher too.
It's like you said, this is the difference. You have a established couple. There's just not drama there. It's just not as exciting.
Yeah, and if
like
there's
romance
drama,
novels
it's
for
toxic. No.
The early part, right? It's
That's the exciting part.
couples get
Nobody
together.
wants to be married for 30 years. No, just kidding.
So then we have at 24 Lucifer and Alistair. So Charlie's dad and the radio demon, which I don't see, but good for you.
I liked Lucifer. I thought he was cute. He was like, "Oh no, my daughter's calling me. Be cool, be cool." I thought that was sweet.
Like his character. I like Alistair. I think he's interesting potential there, but I just thought as a couple though.
But as a couple, I didn't see it.
No, they have a song later where they're kind of fighting over Charlie. But I think Alistair's
I
like
saw
trying to be
that.
her dad. I guess it could work. I don't know.
Stepdad, dad, and dad.
And then, finally at 49, Alistair's back and he is with Vox, the TV demon. They've got beef. So I don't see them as a couple. I do think they may have been a couple.
They're bitter exes.
Yeah, there's a lot of hate there that just seems a little odd if it's not personal.
I like that. That's headcanon now.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. See where it goes in these next couple of seasons.
We'll be watching with bated breath.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, or should we move on to
I think it's time we put a bow on this episode and let's give our true pairing scores. And you had a good idea of how to do it this time.
Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do is rate each other. So have we convinced each other that our pairings are, OTP.
OTP. Do you want to go first?
I guess I forgot what I was going to do. Trying to think of something from the show. Okay. So since this is a podcast, I think I'm going to give Charlie and Vaggie. I mean, they are together. I guess out of 10. I'll give them like 8 out of 10. They're together. They were cool. I liked them. They just didn't not a whole lot going on.
They didn't ignite any butterflies.
I wasn't like, ooh, aren't they cute? So I'm gonna give them 8 out of 10, like old timey microphones for Alistair the radio demon on this podcast.
I like it. Yeah, and I think that's totally fair because there's definitely couples on shows that are, in media that have been together a long time that sizzle. That still sizzle.
Right, I couldn't even tell if they were really together for a bit. So
would I want to be in a relationship like that? Probably. Do I want to watch people in relationships like that? No.
Need the drama.
Yes, it is entertainment first, guys. This isn't a manual of how to lead a healthy life.
Yeah, we have healthy relationships. Boring.
And that is why I personally would give Husker Duster, I would say 9 out of 10 redeemable souls.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're pretty good. I think they sizzle a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more there.
Yeah, if I come back for number 2, season 2, it's either because we're covering it on the episode or if I want to see what happens with those 2.
Mm-hmm. See how they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. I think it'll work out. Well, because the creator said it probably will. So.
And I hope you guys come back to join us for our next episode looking at another couple popular online ship to see what they're all about.
So thanks for listening. Always, use your podcast app to follow to get the latest on what ships we're talking about. And if you have any suggestions, as you can see, we need ideas. We were on that list. You can email us at our email.
Or there's a link in the show notes to text us. That works too. Yeah. Some of these things are TBD. We're kind of putting the cart way before the horse in some of this. So all of that and more. But we will see you next time. And remember, until then, ship happens! Da, 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 da.